Well, we haven't done this in a while, have we? What's up, people? Good to see you. Good to be back. We've been off for the last 3 weeks. Christmas, New Year's, it all got in the way of Yakin with Yukon. But now we're in the dark times. We're in January, so Yakin with Yukon is back, and we are back at it with another monster guest, a man who is well, he is the man. He is the man collects. So um, eh, he's doing a great job, guys. He is just killing it. I watch Chris's videos and I'm like, holy crap, he's getting 6, 7, 8,000 views, and I'm just like, if you want to do something in YouTube, use this man as your template and go at it like that because that's exactly how you want to do it. So, Man Collects is the guest. How you guys doing? A lot of you have already rolled in, so let's say hi to some people. We got Colin from EC Collecting. What's up, buddy? We've got Dean from Geekstraw. What's up, buddy? We got Mr. John from Collecting Havoc, who's the guest next week. Good to have you, buddy. And we've also got Ultra Cardizilla. So what's up, man? So we got all our usuals, and there's my good buddy, Mr. Fantastic. What's up, buddy? I had a good holiday. How about you? Yeah, Christmas was great. Hopefully you guys had a good Christmas. Hopefully you got everything you wanted. I don't really get toys for Christmas because my family doesn't buy me toys. They say I get toys all year round, so they're like, we're not buying you toys. So I get like clothes and stuff like that. So, but it's still a good time, still a good Christmas. My parents actually came in um, last weekend, so it was great to have them in from Colorado for about 4 days. So we had a good time with them. So, Gary's Grails, what's up, buddy? Good to have you here. So, all right, that's enough talking from me. Let's bring in our guest, the man collects. If I can get this to work, here we go. Man collects. Maybe. Epic music for an epic guest.
Oh, that's beautiful. I like that.
The problem was I left Gary's Grails comment in there, so we didn't see your face. So that sucks.
That's probably a good thing. You might want to put him over top of me here. You might get more views that way.
Oh man, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Pretty good. I gotta say though, we gotta clear up one thing before we get started.
Okay.
Your last hunt video, you mentioned your picks for Rookie of the Year, a 1A and a 1B. I think we need to classify who needs to be 1A and who needs to be 1B.
It would be wrong of me to classify 1A, 1B.
I got to pick on Havoc a little bit in case
you got to pick on Havoc. Havoc needs to get, Havoc needs to be brought down a notch. I mean, honestly, in all seriousness, what you two have done in your rookie years has been absolutely phenomenal. The way you guys have been consistent, the things you've done, the way you've gone about your channels and your hunts and everything you do, streams, everything. I mean, kudos to both of you because I think you guys kind of laid out the template and the blueprint for anybody new coming on where you need to be consistent. You need to have good, solid, positive content. I can't say I do that. So you guys really have done a great job. So if I was serious when I said that, you and Havoc are definitely my rookies of the year, and it's a tie as far as I go.
I appreciate that. That was awesome. Man. I was listening to that video, my wife sitting there patting me on the shoulder. I was like, "Oh, stop it!" I mean,
oh God, yeah, right. Like it matters what I say, right? I mean, it does not. It does not. Let me welcome in a couple people. Then I got some questions for you, buddy. What's up, Dano? Good to have you here, buddy. Good to see you. T3, yeah, these two again. Yep, you got it. All right. So honestly, 2023 has been a big year for you, man. You are almost at 2,000 subs. What does that feel like to be almost 2,000 subs in just about a year?
I really don't know. I mean, it's honestly, it still blows me away. I just can't. I mean, it feels like, you know how things are. You think back on something, it feels like I've been doing this forever in certain circumstances, but really, I mean, it feels like it just started. I can't believe it. I can't believe I broke 500 subs when that happened. And now I'm sitting on like 1880, I think, when we started this tonight. I can't believe actually in 4 more days, it'll be my year anniversary. I done my first upload. So it's just, I'm very appreciative. I don't know what else to say. I'm sitting here rambling and stambling on. it blows my mind. I can't believe the support the channel's got. And it's very, very appreciative of all of it.
What do you think the number one, in your opinion, what do you think the number one reason is? Do you think it's the consistency? Obviously, your demeanor is fantastic on all your videos. You're very knowledgeable about the products that you're looking at and you're buying. But is there one thing that maybe we want to think of that you can attribute your success to?
I think the consistency has a big part in it. I think I don't know who manages YouTube and how all that crap works or any of that stuff, but like I said, I think they know, like, I'll use Havoc again as an example. They know the 3 days of the week I'm going to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 p.m. I don't care if it's an hour video or it's a 10-minute video, something's going to be out there. And I think that gives them more confidence in trying to promote someone they know is going to be consistent and kind of turn into like a TV show or something like that. But I think the consistency helps. And as far as anything else, dude, I mean, I get asked, I got people now wanting to start YouTube channels around me. They're sending me messages on Instagram. What do you do? What do we do? How do I do this? It's like, I don't have a clue, dude. I'm a rookie. I have no clue how to do this crap. I'm just going by the seat of my pants here.
Oh, well, what we said, I think, is what you do though. See, you and Havoc, and I've tried to get on this. Carlos has got on this too. When you're consistent, YouTube recognizes it. And I think it's really, we all try to figure out the algorithm. But honestly, I think the algorithm is not as hard as we think because it's just about being consistent. Because you and Havoc, you did it from day one. You didn't sit here and try to mess with stuff. You had a schedule and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to stick by this. I'm going to see how it goes. And that's what we're going to do. So, do you think there's anything else or is it, just that?
Well, like I told Havoc, I think it helps too. They're both very attractive and people want to look at it. I don't know. I think one thing that helps, I'm blessed. I've got a lot of places to hunt, and we were talking backstage. I get lucky. I mean, I find a lot of good stuff. I think that helps as well, being able to have relevant news stuff to show that people are looking for. And I'm not trying to brag with that, saying, "Oh, I find everything." I don't. But like I said, I think that helps. But I think consistency. I try to keep my channel as clean as I can. I try not to be negative and complain and, cuss and swarp and go on. And I don't know if that helps, but I know looking at the questions when you post a video, they ask you if you have content like that in your video. And, with advertising, I wonder if that plays a part in it. They know, my content is going to be, I've let one cuss word slip, I think, in 300 videos. And I went back and edited it out as quick as I found it in there. But
wow. I mean, that right there is impressive because, man, I don't think a lot of us could do that.
Now, if I played my outtakes of when I mess up or when I get tongue tied or when I do something, I'll be the most X-rated guy probably on YouTube. And I always say I only cuss on T3 Collects live streams.
So. Well, that and you cuss that and your language is questionable on Instagram. So you don't have your 10-inch monster today, I see.
Nope, I got about a 5-inch Mountain Dew. It's kind of cold tonight, okay. Not at full growth.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me get to a couple more things. Guys, as always, if you got any questions for Chris, be sure you put them in the chat. So Mr. Syntastic says he's Rookie of the Year for 4th year in a row. You're doing a good job too, buddy. You're doing a great job.
I think if I don't know Mr. Syntastic, I've watched him for a long time before I started my YouTube channel. I think if he would allow me the honor of doing like a week, this toy look in his toy room, that would be the highest viewed content on my channel. I can't believe the stuff that dude has got in his collection.
It's going to take you a week. I don't know if you caught his, I've only gotten through a little bit of it. I don't know if you caught his collection tour. His collection tour is almost an hour long.
I got to check that out.
Yeah, it's insane. It's almost an hour long. I've gotten through about a third of it. So I still got to do some work on that. So let's see who else we got here. Carlos agrees. Finally found my time slot that works. And that's what's great about it too. I think we all have different time slots. I think me and Havoc are probably the closest together, but you're at noon, 3 days a week. Carlos is at 2 every Tuesday. Me and Havoc are kind of Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday guys and that sort of thing. Has it ever been a point in time where it's become too much? Where, because you're uploading 3 times a week plus all the shorts you do. Has it ever been, since we talked last, a point where you're like, this is getting to be a little much?
There's only been a couple of times, and really it's been self-inflicted. I fell asleep on the couch and woke up at like 10 o'clock and like, oh crap, I got to put a video together or something like that. But really it's not. Like I said, I got a 2-way drive every day, a round trip to work. And on that drive, I'm passing like 8 Walmarts, like 3 Targets, GameStops, Books A Million. I mean, I've always got a good opportunity to turn off the roadway, a couple of minutes and film something. But there's pressure sometimes because I have built this schedule, like, and Kelly's watching this. I might get in trouble and go back in the house. But if we're planning like a family trip and she wants to be gone on a Friday or gone like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm thinking, well, crap, I got to find something to get content. Right. And not saying I would ever put this channel above the family. I wouldn't. I'd miss an uploading date before I do that. But that's really the only thing is just a little bit of things. I kind of feel now like I have to do that. And eventually, if I ever get the channel to where I think, I don't know, I'm getting tired or something like that, I will cut back probably just a couple of videos a week. Or I would like to do 2 hunt videos and start doing something else different. I don't know what that different would be, but that way I'm not feeling pressured to get out to the stores all the time.
I was just going to ask you that. What else do you think you would do? Do you think you'd do reviews? Do you think you'd do more kind of news? You know, a lot of us do toy news and that sort of thing. If you had to do another type of video, what do you think it would be?
Well, not trying to lose my man card, but I'm a whipped husband. And yesterday I come home from toy hunting, and my wife's on the phone with her best friend, and her best friend's name is Jamie. In case Jamie's watching this, but they're looking at me, and they got her on speakerphone. They're telling me I need to do toy talks. I need to have like a figure, like I'll do a spoiler for my haul tonight. I got Owlman today. Like I need to show Owlman, talk about the history of the character, his villains, and all that. But I don't know. That to me, that would be a lot of work because I know, I mean, I've collected comics forever. I'm almost 43. I can't remember every detail about this stuff.
Right.
But I thought about maybe doing a thing like that, maybe doing like a toy talk. I thought about doing Lego builds and doing some Lego reviews, things like that. I thought about a live stream, but I really don't know what I would do. I don't think I could do like this. I don't think I would be good at that. But I thought about just doing like maybe a Lego build live stream, and whoever gets in the chat just talking about whatever, for a little
Yeah,
bit.
I mean, Chris from Everything's Plastic's been doing that. He's been doing the builds with like the Bandai Star Wars kits and stuff, and those go over pretty well. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a good idea. Um, how much time do you think you spend doing toy hunts in a week?
Oh, the videos usually end up being about an hour, but usually those videos are a couple, 2 or 3 days. I'd say
Mm,
a week, probably 3, 4 hours total, maybe because a
okay.
lot of the times I'm in these stores. I mean, well, I don't know, I probably a little bit more than that. And honestly, people go. I've had people tell me like, "Oh, you just do this to get content." I toy hunt less now than I used to because used to be I didn't have to come home and edit it into a video and post it on YouTube.
Right,
So, it's
right,
actually cut into my hunting time a little bit. But like I said, with that, I pass so many places, on the way back and forth to work. I'm lucky with that. So toy hunting for me is actually pretty easy. I just run in. If I have to get groceries or something, I'll get what the spouse needs and I'll hit the toy off for a little bit.
right, right. Carlos thinks you're bragging because you haven't dropped a. Carlos can't go 2 seconds without dropping a cuss word, so he thinks you're bragging about that. uh, oh, you're welcome, buddy. Yeah, I've got to finish that video. That your collection is just like Carlos is saying. Your collection's insane, buddy. So love it. Zombie Hunter 15. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And let's see what else we got. Dean says I'm 54 and I forget my kids' names. Hey, man. I mean, it's busy times. We saw so many Owlman figures in Walmart today. Need to hurry up and get to Ross. Yes, yes. Ross is something I wanted to talk to you about too, because I talked to Dre about this the other day. Did you get like an overload with Ross? Did you think it became too much? Because all of us were going there. All of us were doing huge videos. We still are. Do you think it came to the point where it's like, okay, this has just become too much, or are you still enjoying going to Ross?
I don't enjoy it as much now because stuff isn't showing up like it was. But
Yeah.
I watched your stream with Dre. I was actually driving. I couldn't chat a whole lot about it, but I didn't really get burnt out. Every time I thought, okay, this is over, in our Instagram chat, T3 pop up something that showed up, and I get obsessed with this stuff. When I find something I want, I mean, I just keep going and going and going until I get it. And I kind of got that way with Ross. It really didn't dawn on me of how much content was being driven by that until hearing I got a comment on one of my videos, so I enjoy seeing you find this stuff, but I'm getting a little sick of seeing Ross all the time. And then you stop and start thinking about it. It's like, yeah, it is getting a little oversaturated, but I thought it was great. I mean, I wasn't going there just to try to get content. I wanted to get the cheap stuff. And, one of these days I'm going to tell T3 the story about how I found the entire carded X-Men wave in one store.
He's not gonna like that. but did you ever find any of those Viper 3 packs? You found some of those, didn't you?
No, I never found.
Oh,
I
you
never
never found
found
it.
those. Never found Duke and Ram. So, like
Yeah,
I said, the
yeah.
manager at the store I went to the most told me they didn't come to this side or my part of the woods, and I thought she just told me that to get me to stop asking her so much. But I think she might have been telling the truth because I don't know anybody in my area that ever saw those in any of the stores that I went to.
I never saw him either. I mean, I think the only person that I even know that found a lot was Carlos. I didn't see any in my area. I just now started seeing uh who was it? The Motu Origins. I know you found a couple of those, and then there was another one too. One of the Joes who I'm forgetting the name of the Joes, but the guy with the orange shirt. Just found him recently too. So it's like it's weird how things got distributed because we're seeing stuff a lot later than what you guys saw on the coasts. So I'm not sure if it's, a lot of people keep saying it's going to still kind of trickle here and there, and maybe in Easter it'll kick back up, but I don't know, man. We might be hard times until Christmas again.
I think it will be, and especially if my area. My stores are pretty much all dried up. I found the Motu stuff. They'll be in my video tomorrow, but that's the first thing I've really found. I mean, I guess newer stuff. I've seen a few little restocks, but my area didn't get as much. Like, I'll use T3 again. He sent a picture one day. I mean, there was a row that long of the twins.
Yeah.
He had found. I mean, when I showed my stores, there might have been like one or two of them to right there at the end, but yeah, mine didn't get as much as some of the others. I think I just had good. I learned their stocking schedules. I knew around the time of the day the stores were going to stock, so I knew when to go. So
hey, that you got to get that inside track with the store manager and the employees.
Pays to be nice to the employee. I had one in Bristol, Virginia, where I go so much. So she knew she had shipwreck in the back. And I came in that morning and she goes, I've got a little pirate guy. If you're still she's an elderly lady. If you're still trying to find those little GI Joes. I was like, well, yes. Like, well, you come back in about an hour and I'll have you one of them. So that was great. She held one of them for me.
Awesome. Yeah. Always be nice to your store employees. It's a little easier in some stores than others, but it helps to be nice. It always helps to be nice for sure. So you have a lot of cuss words. You'll tell me later. Pass. 8 Cobra Viper 3-pack so you can take your Retro X-Men and Kick Rocks.
I got to give him that. I never saw those, and he found in Havoc, I think maybe 1 or 2 stores.
Havoc says he's got 10. He found 10.
He found one. I know one of his videos. I think before anybody on our little group was finding them, he found a bunch of them in one of his. I remember. So
yeah.
I was jealous of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I got to rely on you guys a lot because you guys, in the middle of the country, except for Havoc, of course. And you see, we get everything last. So I think I relied on Carlos for a ton of stuff. You were going to help me out with some Ghostbusters earlier, which I was able to find. But how is that for you? Do you really enjoy the community and how it's going together? I mean, you're in a lot of groups. You've been on a lot of the same streams as I have lately with Undisputed and that sort of thing. Do you feel more connected to the community like in the last 6 months?
Yeah, I do big time. Honestly, and I hate to keep bringing him up here. He's going to start gushing.
You're giving him a big head. You need to stop talking about him.
When he put me in that chat group with a lot of you guys, I mean, that's how I really got to know a lot of you all. I had commented back, Havoc and I had commented back and forth in each other's videos and things like that. And I've been on your stream and then Kenobi stream and stuff. But getting to see more of you guys' personality, I guess, in that. Really, I've only really had one bad experience in the community probably in the last 6 months, and it wasn't anything too terrible. But like I said, it's been great for most of them. Met a lot of good people. I got a lot of good contacts, and even outside of the YouTube community, the guy who won my first giveaway, William Golden, he's become a good friend. We talk all the time on Instagram. A guy named Mike, he goes by Vlad the Impaler. If you ever see him comment on your stuff, got to know him pretty well. He's become a friend. And several people like that. So it's been great as far as getting out and finding some more people to share this addiction with. So
yeah, I've noticed too. My views have gone up lately, like yours has, and Havoc's and everybody else. It brings the trolls out a little bit. So you kind of answered my question, but is there anything else like in the last 6 months? Because your views have gone way up. Have you noticed anything where it's maybe not a troll, but it's like these kind of questionable comments? I got a couple yesterday. I won't say what they are, but is there anything that makes you like, what is that person smoking or anything like that?
I had one yesterday, and I don't know if they were using the Wingdings or whatever it is font when they typed it in, but it was just a bunch of symbols, and it had C translation. I don't know every language. Is that some kind of other language? So I hit it and didn't translate it. It was stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, I get a lot of the trolls in the comments and stuff like that, and I know you shouldn't engage those people. I get lecture from everybody, but I can't help it. If they say something I don't like, I shoot back at them every time. And I got to say, every time I do that, they never say anything back.
No. Well, they're counting on you not saying anything back. They're like in a hit and run kind of thing, so that could be tough. I haven't had one in a while. I got one the other day. I was like, I'm just going to remove the comment. It used to be where I'd fire back, but now it seems like it's not really worth it too much anymore, to start a fight and that sort of thing. So let me get back to a couple comments here. We saved the twins today, Ross. Nice. Colin still has the twins. No Ross. Dude, that's too bad, Dino.
That sucks.
You're missing out, buddy, because that was huge. From what I can tell, it takes about 3 weeks for stuff you guys find even show up my area, Georgia. Interesting. And then Dino says he has fun with trolls. All right, so I want to talk about toy hunting a little bit. Me and Dre were talking about this the other day. 2024, I think, is going to be a weird year. There's a lot of stuff going on with Hasbro, with distribution. There's a lot of talks of things getting cut, that sort of thing. What is your prediction for 2024? Do you think toy hunting is going to still kind of say as good as it was, or do you think we're going to see some regression going on?
As far as the stuff we saw, the discount stuff, I don't think you're going to see that again. Hasbro, I think you're going to see reduction. I think they're going to cut their production down on what they were putting out, but just because, I mean, I know Toddy Mac, everything showed up at these discount retailers, but everybody's got to admit, Hasbro flooded Ollie's and Ross.
Mhm.
I mean, there was more Hasbro than anything there, and they're going to take notice of that. They pretty much subcontracted their that stuff out to McFarlane there to make some of the stuff for GI Joe.
Right.
To get them to do that. So I think they're going to, and they're in financial trouble. They're doing layoffs, things like that. And I'm not saying they're in big financial trouble, but they're making changes there in response to all that. So I think you're going to see less production from them, hopefully better quality. I think McFarlane is going to realize that, and he's going to whore out products left and right like he done, pretty much all through 2023. But as far I know, some people are saying they think toy hunting is going to go away. It's going to turn into NFTs. I don't see that ever happening because most people like us who collect, we want to be able to get a hold of this stuff. I don't want to look at my phone, look at my collection. I want to look around this room and see everything. I want to struggle with space and all that fun stuff. So,
right.
But like I said, I don't think you're going to see the big production runs. And I don't think you're going to see all these exclusives and that showing up. Well, you may see a few that peg warm this year until they catch, if the cycle catches up. But
yeah, definitely.
The stuff we saw in Ollie's and Ross, I think we might get a little bit next year, but it's never going to be a big rush like we had this year.
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised too if we did see something in that number. I mean, it was insane. Ollie's at the beginning of the year, Ross at the end. I think it's still. What do you feel about paying prices now? Are you okay with paying retail all the time? Or are you looking, since Ross, are you looking for more clearance deals?
I've always looked for clearance, but I got to admit, I have gotten skewed by the stuff we've been finding. And I'm trying to stop saying it. And all my videos, I find myself looking at least one or two things. Like, I'm going to wait and see if that hits Ollie's or Ross, or I'm going to wait till that's on clearance. But we always want to save a dollar with this stuff. But I think what we've seen has spoiled a lot of us now into thinking that $15 is too much because we're used to seeing stuff for $5 at Ross and things like that. But yeah, I save a buck where I can. But now something I really want, I'm going to pay retail unless retail just gets insanely stupid.
Yeah. Which, there's no real signs of anything going down. I mean, we never know if it's going to go up. Is there so obvious if you guys can't tell, he likes McFarlane. Don't know if you guys can tell that or not, but he does. Is there a price point that's too high for you? Is there a price point per figure where you're like, no, we got to back off this?
$25 is pushing it for me. And that's one reason. I know we talked last time I was on your show about McFarlane. That's one reason I do kind of gravitate towards DC Multiverse. It's still not at the price point of some of the others.
Right.
I mean, if these little single figure releases by him, if they get to be $25, then I will still buy some, but it's not going to be this back here. $25 to me is pushing it for an action figure. That's why I don't buy a whole lot of Marvel Legends unless I do find them on clearance or Ollie's or someplace. But
right.
To me, when it gets over $20 for a 6 or 7 inch figure, unless you're putting a whole lot with that or a very, very limited production run, that's starting to push it, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Well, and have you noticed that McFarlane's had more repacks and repaints lately? I've gotten out of
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I started buying all the Jokerized stuff when it first started, like the Dark Detective. I was like, oh, that looks cool. I'll get all these. After about the first 3, I'm like, screw this. He's not even doing the good characters. He's doing the stuff that peg warmed. Just trying to clear out new or stock or whatever. But now some of the ones I like the black. I think Big Bad Toy Store does the black and white or the accent. It's the accent editions where I have like one color accent on a black and white figure. I like those. I get those every now and then. But yeah, he needs to focus more, I think, on the classic characters and pushing that stuff out than on this repainting, White Knight Batman for the 15th time and putting it out.
Right. Let's get back to some comments. I send the trolls back under the bridges. That's a good place for them, buddy. Mr. Syntastic says, I fire back and I go low. I don't know why I'm not surprised by that with him, but I'm not. Love to see the trolls out when I'm hunting. Oh, interesting. Colin, have you run into some trolls while you're hunting? Chris, have you ever had that problem when you're hunting and somebody watches your channel, comes up to you and starts being a troll right to your face?
I've only had one person that I think didn't like me, and I went into GameStop, and I was talking to, there's a guy, he's a reseller, but he's actually a fair reseller. I was talking to him in the store there, and the guy behind the register had said something, and the guy said, "Well, you know, this is the man collection from YouTube." And he just looked at me and was like, "Yeah, I know who you are." And I thought, "Oh, you're probably somebody that said something snarky," and I probably fired back at you. But I can tell he did not like
Wow,
me or my content. So that's
man,
all he
that's
said to me. He
insane.
didn't say anything out of the way.
That's insane. That is crazy. I can't believe that they wouldn't just be like, people don't usually want conflict, face to face. So that's kind of surprising. Interesting. But they want to say shit in person. Well, probably not. But and then we've got Free Lando. I don't think anyone's ever gonna take Lando's place as the peg worm of the year. I still see some. I put it on my last video. I saw one with dust about that thick on the top of it at Walmart the other day. And I
Him and
know you're
Grief
still seeing
Karga.
it too.
There's still a
Grief
ton of
Karga
Grief
too.
Karga figures in my area too. But yeah, there's way more Lando, and it's just now starting to hit clearance. Like that
Yeah,
Cardiff, I
yeah,
think the 40th anniversary figure. That's
yeah.
just now, and it's only down like $4 or $5, but still, it's starting to hit clearance after what I don't know how many years that's been out. But
Yeah.
like I said, they're still everywhere in my area. About every Walmart I go to.
Well, it's crazy, and it's like I don't see that too much with McFarlane. I don't see when I was in it a little bit last year. I saw it a little bit, but I don't see a lot of McFarlane's really peg warming. I think the standard Aquaman's been doing a little bit, but have you noticed a lot of peg warming with McFarlane? I just don't see a lot in my area.
Havoc might throw this in the comments too, but Duke Thomas, that Knight
Oh
thing with
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
axe
that thing.
guitar,
Yeah,
he peg warmed.
yeah.
Rebirth Batman, Future State. There's a few. I mean, it doesn't seem to be as much as some of the others, but again, I think the price point does help with him. He's a little bit cheap. Like a Black Series, they're like what now, $28, something like that.
Yeah, well, so if you go to on some of the Amazon listings, they're 26.99. A lot of GameStop listings, they're 26.99. So they're slowly getting us ready for Black Series to kind of nick them, kick them up again. They're doing it all slowly, but I think they're going to go to 26 soon. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Jay Philly Retro Toys, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Haven't seen him in a while. And we've got running roughshot. He double hockey sticks. No, never pay retail. Yes, I agree, buddy. I agree. All right, who else we got here? We've got Jaeger 101. What's up, man? I once got a person who followed me all the way to my car trying to buy off me of the last gold labeled Dark Side. Stalker. You get stalkers. That's insane. And then found the whole Batman and Robin wave today at Walmart. Poison Ivy looks great. I know did you complete that wave?
I did. I bought it off McFarlane Toy Stores because I couldn't find it anywhere, and I wanted to make sure I got it. But I found it at Books A Million, so it's a little more. I think it's $12 more for the set there than is at regular retail. They're $3 each, but that's the only place I've seen it so far. I've seen a couple of them in GameStops, but GameStops and Books A Million is the only place I've seen that wave.
I saw it at Target a couple weeks ago. It actually looks really good. For such a terrible movie, they actually did a pretty good job of that, except for the Mr. Freeze. I'm not sure about the Mr. Freeze.
I haven't built it yet. I ordered one set from McFarlane Toy Store, and I bought another set, piecing it together here and there where I found them, but I got to put him together. I haven't built him yet. The face sculpt doesn't look terrible. He did pretty good, I think, on Chris O'Donnell and Clooney and all that.
Yeah, those look good. Yeah. Yeah, even Alicia Silverstone looks pretty good,
Mhm.
too. I know Carlos took, like, one of those chrome pens to it, and he kinda, gave it some new deco and stuff, so I think that looked pretty good, but again, why are we having to add customization to figures that should already have it? That's a huge
That's
pet peeve
what I
of mine,
think. If I pay 30 or 40 bucks for a figure, I shouldn't have to do anything. I shouldn't have to soak it in water. I shouldn't take a damn hair dryer. Oh, I just cussed. I'm sorry. I shouldn't take a hair dryer to it to get its leg to move. I should be able to take it out and do what I want, and it should look like it should look. You shouldn't have to do any customization. The biggest one that ticked me off that I got, and you can't see him, he's way over here in the corner standing, but Asbat from McFarlane, the gold label, the blue claws. Why did he not give him silver claws? I mean, he didn't do a lot accurate on that figure, but the blue plastic claws, I will never understand on that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well, and that's a lot what's wrong with the Black Series, the attention to detail. They just released the Balin skull and the Shin, like they're exactly the same height. Like Balin's up here and Shin's down here, and it's like the attention to detail. And you asking $25 is it's gotten to the point where it's just ridiculous, And it's like if I'm paying $25, I basically want it perfect because I'm paying $25. I think it should be close to perfect.
I agree 100% with that.
Yeah. Yeah, they look good. It may play longer. I'm trying to pull back on all the lines I get. Yeah, yeah. How many lines are you collecting right now?
McFarlane, of course, you can look back here and tell, and this isn't all of it. It's just a sample of McFarlane, but I'm all in on that. The only thing I try to get everything on, and I'm about to drop it, is Superpowers, because you can't find most of them now. But I get some Marvel Legends, the WWE Superstars figures. The little short looks like the
Hmm.
Masters of the Universe.
Yep.
I buy those. Some of the retro turtles I get, but as far as I guess being all in or almost all in would be McFarlane. But I dabble in a little bit of everything. Diecast, I said legends, wrestling, turtles. I mean, I got all kinds of crap in here.
What do you think of those Masters of the Universe turtle crossovers?
I saw those yesterday. Those in person look cool. I'm not going to. I mean, they're $20 a piece at
Yeah,
Target.
they're steep. They're
I'm
steep.
not going to get those. It's a little too pricey for me. But as far as seeing them online and seeing them in person, they look really good in person, especially the two turtles, Leonardo and Donatello.
Yeah, I think those are the ones people be after. The He-Man looks kind of weird. Even
Yeah,
the
the purple with the green veins or whatever.
yeah, it looks like. But the Trap Jaw actually looks good.
I
Trap Jaw
haven't
with the
seen that
Bowser.
one yet. I like to see. I saw a picture. I didn't know that was out. I saw somebody had that post on Instagram the
Yeah,
other day.
Turtle Chris got it. He got it the other day, and I was watching a short on that. It looks pretty good. The other cool thing about that too, so instead of doing Roboto, they're doing Metalhead, a Metalhead Roboto crossover. So you start getting the pieces for that, and he's a build a figure. So it looks pretty cool. I mean, not something I'm going to go for either because again the prices are too high, but it's a decent crossover. I think they do a good job with their turtle crossovers with Power
Mhm.
Rangers and Motu and that sort of thing. So I didn't open them. I noticed that Shin and Balin are the same length. The faces look great on them. Yeah, I think that's really the biggest problem. Is just Balin's lightsaber's too big, and then Balin's too short. I think that's really just the biggest problem. Jay Philly's going to get all the Motu TMNT figs. Nice, man. And then Colin saw the trap jaw today. Nice, nice. I know that's hitting target. Okay, so 2024. What do you have on tap? Do you think there's going to be? We talked about it a little bit before, but do you think there's going to be anything that's going to change for you or in your collecting habits or anything like that?
I've got to slow down. Like I was trying to get a little more selective, and then Ross hit, and I've made jokes. I about need to build an extension onto my building now and name it the Ross Wing for all the crap that I bought. That was on sale for that. But that's one thing I've really got to do. I need to focus. Even with multiverse, I get wrapped up in trying to get stuff, and there might be a 4-figure wave. I only want 2 of the figures, but I get them, and then I keep seeing the other 2. I'm thinking, I just need those 2, and I'll have the whole wave. I end up buying stuff I don't really characters I don't really want, stuff like that. I got to get away from that and just kind of try to focus on stuff that means something to me, not just getting it to get it and things. And when I see something on clearance, even I don't have to buy it. I see this stuff that's
Yeah,
cheaper, and I
yeah,
feel compelled that I have to get it because I see it at a better price. So
right. That's hard to do. Sometimes when you see something, you're like, well, it's only $5. It's only $6, and you kind of get stuck into things that you don't want to get into. Is there going to be any kind of purge with stuff? Is there things that you have that you're like, maybe I don't need this. Maybe I need to sell this.
I've got 2 totes sitting over here. One is full of Marvel Legends, and one is full of multiverse that is getting out of here. And I've got some more. I've still got a storage unit I haven't emptied out yet. There's a lot of stuff in there I'm going to clean out. But a lot of the figures I bought at discount, I bought because I want to do the build a figure. I didn't want the
Mhm.
figures, but I wanted the pieces. And it was cheaper to buy them at discount than try to buy the pieces on eBay. So a lot of that stuff I got to get cleaned out of here. I'm not buying doubles anymore. Like there for a while, I would want to figure I want one in box and one out of box. It's going to be either or. I'm not buying 2 of everything anymore and doubling the space up and things like that. And then trying to find a place to put loose figures. But to give Havoc another shout out, he had a show buying those pencil boxes. I've been buying these things like crazy at Walmart and Target, like 99 cents each, and they'll fit a 7-inch McFarlane or a 6-inch Legend perfectly with
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
accessories. And trying to find a way to store these things, but I got to scale down a little bit. I haven't overspent on this stuff, but I blew my budget out of the water last year on stuff, just trying to get too much, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's easy to do. It's super easy to do. What line are you looking other than DC? What line are you looking forward to the most? Is there a certain line that you've got your eye on? Maybe you collect it, maybe you don't.
Jada Street Fighter. I
Jada
love the
Street Fighter.
Jada Street Fighter figures. Unless they get stupid on repaints and variants, I'm going to try to be a completist. I want all of them. I love that game. That's one of the first games, I guess, as I became a teenager, I got really into the Street Fighter 2 and all the characters, but I'll get all those that come out unless they do start doing. I know they're doing the player as a store exclusive, but the player 2 variant of Rai, I did order it, but they start doing stuff like that for all of them. I'm not going to do that. But like I said, that's one line I'm looking forward to see what comes on that.
Nice, nice, awesome, man. All right, let's get to a couple more comments here. Mr. Fantastic saw them today. Look pretty good. They may be exceptions to my Clone Wars Rebel only Black Series rule. Yeah, man. Yeah, good luck. I'm definitely grabbing the Motu Turtles. Yep, definitely. Prepping for our show, guys. Definitely check out Rogue 5 Cantina. After this, they have a new member they're announcing right after Yakin with Yukon. More people watch that show, so I'm probably wasting my time because all you guys watch that show. But check that out. Also, just a little teaser, working on getting all 5 of the Rogue Cantina on this show. So we'll see if that happens in the
Oh, that'd be
future.
a good one.
But that's what I'm working on now. So we'll see if that happens. Kenny Williman, good to have you here. I'm hoping to do a Filmation Cringer in the Masters line. That would be awesome. Yeah, I like the Filmation. What's your take on the Filmation, Chris?
I like stop motion and stuff like that, or
Well, so they had those. I think he's talking about the cartoon ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that stuff. Motu though, I'm not going into Motu. I have bought some that have been on clearance. I like looking at the stuff, but like I said, no, I mean it'd be cool to see it and film it and take pictures of it and all that stuff. But no, I'm not going to. Motu's not a road I'm going to go down.
It's a huge road to go down, and it's like you get stuck on it. So I'm agree. I'm going to focus on vintage grails in 2024 and modern. Dino and I, we're on the same wavelength. What do you think about vintage? We were talking earlier about those Ghostbusters that you still have some of those. Is there any plans to go into vintage?
I like to get some more vintage Kenner. The one line I've bought some pieces of it throughout the last year. It's not a very popular one or a very valuable one, but I know when I was a kid, I didn't know that Kenner. Of course, when I'm 12, I don't know toy news. I didn't know they sold to Hasbro, but like you had the Man of Steel Superman line that came out in the mid '90s, right before they sold, and they just stopped that line. I always wanted those toys when I was a kid, and I didn't see them anymore after that. So I've been trying to put that together. I want to try to finish that this year. I got the pricier. There's only one piece to that is actually a bit pricey. That Kryptonian battle suit. I got that, but I want to finish that. I want to get some of the old Batman Returns and Legends of the Dark Knight stuff from that.
Oh, yeah.
But I've gotten some vintage last year, but I like to get more into that and get stuff. A second edition Wolverine from Toy Biz, his classic suit there, the yellow with the black on the sides. I want to get one of those on card and try to piece some of that stuff together. But yeah, I love the vintage stuff. I try not to go too hard on it because I know I'll start going crazy and I'll end up broke. But yeah, I definitely want to get some more vintage in here.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going that way too. I've said that a few times, but you know, you look at we were talking too, those Ghostbusters, the Fright Feature ones that just came out, which they came out really fast, by the way. It was just last month they announced those. But I saw those on Mercari, the brand new ones going for like $80. You can scroll down a little further and you can find the vintage one complete in good conditions for like 25.
So that's
So it's
ridiculous.
really you gotta watch it so bad. And usually it's the other way around where people are trying to rip you off vintage if you don't do your homework and that sort of thing. But and you mentioned to me that the Andre the Giant you picked up the Chase, you saw the same thing.
Yeah, those things on eBay because I didn't know that line was coming out either. But I saw those figures, and of course, you got two different colors. There's a Chase, but you get to looking. I bring it up and start looking. I was like, one of them was like, and even Carlos had mentioned they're selling for like $70-$80 on eBay. Like they just came out, and I've seen that thing 3 times in the past 2 days. I mean, they're going to be out there if you hunt for them, but I know FOMO. I get caught up in that myself sometimes too, but I don't understand how in this stuff, especially things like those Ghostbusters, if it's like the last retro Ghostbusters release, those things sat on shelves, ended up at Ollie's for $4. And I would not pay $80 for one of those at this point.
No, absolutely not. I think that and that's again where you got to do your homework and stuff like that. Where the Ross game really changed everything. We can really now be a lot more picky and choosy on what we want to do because of that hope, or even looking at deals on Amazon and that sort of thing, to where we can kind of wait things out. You mentioned the FOMO thing. Is there many times you've done that where it's like, I want to have it now, but I'm just going to hold up and wait? Do you find yourself doing that more now?
Yeah, especially something like if you go out there and you see, I mean, I didn't want this figure, but it's an example, the Agatha Harkness. I mean, you go to every Target and Tiger Force Flint, and there's pegs and pegs and pegs of that figure. I mean, stuff like that I see. And then one of them that surprised me, I don't usually do a whole lot of pre-orders, but the Nightfall Batman figure, I pre-ordered that thing from Amazon to make sure that I got it. And then I ended up seeing that thing everywhere.
It was everywhere.
So like I said, you never really know how to predict that stuff, but yeah, there's a lot of things. And if it's something like that I really want, I'm going to get it as soon as I see it. But yes, I'm trying to do more long game and trying to catch more of these clearance deals. And, we never know now. We may see all the stuff we thought was hard to find this year. We may see truckloads of it come into Ross next Christmas. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, it's entirely possible. Absolutely. I feel like it's more fun to hunt for the bargains than it is the new stuff. I hope Ollie's picks back up and Ross still gets some stuff. I would agree with that. I think it is actually a little more fun to hunt for the bargains. The new stuff you mentioned pre-orders. I think I maybe have one or two pre-orders right now. Pretty much took care of them all because it's not really worth it anymore. Do you have a lot of pre-orders?
Well, I think someone mentioned in the comments too about the Wonder Woman. I had done some
Yeah,
pre-orders of the classic Wonder Woman, and Target canceled all of them. But I'd rarely. I started getting more into them last year, but I like to toy hunt. I like to find the stuff. I like that adrenaline, dopamine, whatever it is, rush you get when you see something out in the store. I like to find it more than like it because pre-orders to me is kind of cheating. I mean, you know,
no, it
I
is.
mean,
It
you
is.
think you're going to get it unless they cancel your order, but
Uh,
like I said, if it's something I think is going to be impossible to find and I got a chance to pre-order it, yeah, I'm going to do it. But mostly I'm trying to get back just to try to find it in the store because at the end of the day, it's toys. If we don't find it, we don't get it. Our lives are not going to end if we
right.
don't have one figure in our collection.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly right. I don't know about you. You tell me if you have this problem. When I'm looking for something and I find it and I'm filming, I like totally forget about filming and I start doing like this crap. I
Yes,
did that with the Ghostbusters the other day. Do you find yourself do that a lot where it's like, okay, I found what I've been looking for a while. Screw the video. I'm happy I got what I got.
I do that, or I'm bad. Like when I find it, then I'll be going down the aisle, focused, going through everything, looking at the
Yep.
stuff on the pegs. Then I find what I want, and I get excited, and I might look at one thing, then I'm looking back at my toy again that I just found, or something like I said. I'll forget to even like look at a section I usually film or something like that, trying to
Yep.
hurry and get out. But
Yep.
I know one thing I do. I don't know if you or anybody else does it, but I've gotten now where after I get done filming, I always go back and walk the aisle again because I'm looking through my phone. I miss stuff constantly, looking through that viewer on my phone and just scanning the entire toy aisle. But I've missed a lot of stuff too by not really, I guess, paying much attention.
Yeah, I usually don't have time to do that. My clients, I usually maybe have an hour and a half to get through like four stores. So I'm like, I go one pass and that's it. I don't have time to do that. But it is a good thing because many people have mentioned to me also that it's like, oh, you missed that. Oh, you missed that. Carlos mentions a lot of things that I missed lately. So, but I think that's a good thing too, where it's like, maybe I can go back or I can look for it or something like that. So I appreciate the constructive criticism. Um, how okay, here's a question. How would you rate yourself as a YouTuber? What grade would you give yourself? If I say, give yourself a grade, what would it be?
Honestly, I mean, I'm not trying to be self-deprecating. I would say a D. I don't think I'm that
T.
good at it. I don't think I'm good at filming. I think I talk too fast. I
Yep.
think I focus too much on things that I like, not thinking about things other people might want to see. I think I go way too long on my wrap ups. I don't think they're good at all. Like I said, I don't feel I do that good of a job, to be quite honest. That's why it still surprises the crap out of me when I put a video out there and get everyone I put out. I still got that little thought in my head. This is going to this is it. This is where it tanks. This is where it drops off.
Right.
And luckily it hasn't yet. And hopefully it keeps going. But like I said, I don't think I'm all that great.
I will disagree with you. I don't think that's true at all. But there has I did a little bit of a poll the other day. Where it's like, what kind of videos do people want to see? Toy hunts blew it out of the water. There was like 50 votes, and I think toy hunts got like 35 votes. So it's like, with those, I used to have the mentality where it's like, I'm gonna do what I want to my channel. You don't like it, screw you, kind of mentality. But now, when you start getting a little bigger, you're like, well, maybe I should kind of pay attention to what the people are asking for. Maybe I should kind of pay attention to Marvel Legends, to DC instead of just Star Wars and Transformers. I think there's a growth when it comes to YouTube where you're like, okay, I am kind of providing entertainment, providing a service, so I probably should listen to some of the stuff people want to see.
I try that. Like I said, used to be I'd hardly ever looked at wrestling. Now I try to throw wrestling in there.
Yeah.
Some stuff though I'm just not into. The video game aisle, I like the video game figures, but you'll always notice I scan that the quickest, mostly because I took so much time going down the action figures. Most of my stores, the video game aisles on the back side of the action figures. So when I turn around, I got to hurry. Like you said, time's limited to hurry and
Yeah.
get out of there. But
Yep. Yep.
yeah, I try to get better, just showing more stuff, trying to get, I guess, the whole aisle versus just what I want to look at.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to find that balance. I love toy hunting. I mean, I love doing the toy hunt videos, but I mean, it's the most popular, I guess, that and any of us do. The hunts get more views, but I don't want to feel like I'm a one trick pony. Like I said, I want to get some variety on the channel, not just do hunts all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you're right. It is by far the most popular. I mean, it's like not even close. I think with reviews, people really pay attention to the old school guys, like Robo and like, all the other guys that do reviews, Pixel Dan, guys like that. So I think it's harder to break into that than with toy hunts. Anybody can kind of get in there and do toy hunts and be pretty good at it, but the reviews, they're tough to get into. I
I did
think
a
that's
top
it.
5. I only did one last year because I don't keep up with release dates. I can't tell you in here, and a lot of this stuff I bought at discount retailers. It could have come out 2 years ago, but like I said, I did that one on the top 5 Build-A-Figures that I built during 2023. And that's one thing really that gave me probably the most hubris, I guess, as a YouTuber in my little young career. But most time videos like that for me have never done well. Review videos, Lego, whatever I've tried to do has always tanked. That thing got over 1,000 views. I was really
Nice.
pleased with that. That made me feel pretty good. So
Nice. What was your figure of the year for 2023?
overall, right off the top of my head right now, I'm probably going to have to go with the blue and gray Hush Batman. I love
Ah,
that figure.
good
That thing
call.
is awesome.
Good call. Yep. Yep. Did you get the black and gray version?
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's kind of disappointing, but kind of not. It is a little easier to find. You had to work to get the blue
You
and
had
gray.
to work
Like
hard to get
those,
the
so.
blue one. Yeah, I remember finding that. It was up on the rafter at Walmart. Like, holy damn, I actually found it. But yeah, that thing for a while when it first came out was going for pretty good money. I think it's calmed down since. But I would agree with you on DC. I actually really like the Vampire Batman too. I thought that was a good one as well.
Yeah, he's right behind me up here.
Yeah, good figure. What was your most disappointing figure?
The most disappointing thing for me, probably in the last few years, has been that Build-A-Figure from McFarlane on The Dark Knight Rises. That Build-A-Figure Bane, man, that thing just sucked.
That thing
I don't
sucks.
know if anybody you had that
Yes,
or not, but like
that
the
thing
inside
sucks.
of it's hollow.
Yep.
His arms are the size of mine. I think Two Face's figures on Aaron Eckert's arms on that figure is bigger than what Bane's is, around the same size. That thing was just terrible.
Yeah, I would agree. I didn't actually get any of those, but from what Colin said, from what you said, that's probably the most disappointing wave of figures all year in the last couple of years, like you said.
And the only one of
Because
those I thought had a really cool factor was Scarecrow. Just if you take out of context from the Scarecrow movie, but think of like a cheap horror movie or
yeah,
something. He looks like a serial killer or something for one of those cheap slasher movies or something like that.
yeah,
That was
that's
the
about
only fun I can really see having out of that wave.
the only redeeming quality. I'm a sucker for those DC Meg figures are off for $5.99. Too good of a deal, absolutely. Street Fighter 2 in the arcades kept me busy for so many hours, probably kept me out of trouble. Yeah. And then yeah, Kenny was talking about the cartoon line. Yep, awesome. Let's see. Even though I own vintage fright features, I'll definitely get the new ones on card. Yes, my vintage Egon. Dude, that's awesome because that is so hard to find, the Egon with the tie. I was talking about that earlier. I'm actually probably going to buy another set of those just to keep them on card because those, man, they knew how to do it in the 80s with the cards. I think the Ghostbusters line had some of the best looking cards out there.
And Ninja Turtles. I
Ninja
love the
Turtles too.
Ninja
Yep.
Turtles cards, man. That's
Yep.
why seeing those now, I can't help when I see those on the aisle just stopping because it's almost like a time portal.
Mhm.
I don't know if they're the same dimensions. I don't have anything. I don't have any vintage turtles to compare them to. But to me, that looks just like when I saw them on the shelves when I was a kid. And you mentioned Egon's tie. That's the one thing on mine that's messed up. It works. It goes up and down, but I broke mine. It's about half a tie on there. But
Yeah, that's how
I
it is.
guess that's,
Every one of them. Every one of them is like that. If you go to a vintage show, you can't find one with a tie, intact. There was like a defect in the plastic or something, and kids just ripped it up. So if you can find one, definitely go for it. I'm trying to complete the 92 Toy Biz Marvel superhero line. I probably start collecting the Spider-Man line. I know Carlos was into that for a while. I can't remember if he got a lot of those vintage ones, but he was into that for a while. And that I've noticed too has gotten popular too. A lot of people going for the old Toy Biz, the old Legends, and that sort of thing.
I've got some of the Toy Biz. I'd like to have more of those. That's the first. Well, I think Secret Wars was the first superhero figures I ever had. But I'm looking over here. I've got a bunch of those Marvel Toy Biz Marvel figures on my wall over there. But that was the first, I guess, comic book ones I really, really got into was those '90s. The Hulk that had the flexing arms and bend to the little plastic
Oh
bar.
yeah, yeah,
Punisher
yeah.
with the little cat buster on his back.
Yep. The prices on the Ghostbusters come down because they came out trying to take advantage of FOMO. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Don't give in to that. I have an incomplete Fright Vank bin, but that's the only one I have. That's a good one too. That one was cool because the hair and the eyes popping out. I always thought that. Curse you, FOMO. Totally agree. Agree with Kenny's comment. I would love a Ghostbusters playset re-release.
That would
That
be
would
awesome.
be awesome. I actually got one for $25. It's beat to hell, but I got it for $25. I'm trying to customize it, and we'll see how that goes. But that is one of the best play sets ever, I think.
I had that when I was a kid, and I traded it to my best friend, probably in I don't know what grade I was in, but it's right when the first '89 Batman came out, and he had the Batcave from that, and I didn't have it, so we traded that firehouse for that old crappy Toy Biz Batcave, which I want that Batcave. Don't get me wrong, I don't
I
have
was
it
gonna
anymore, but
say, I
I
was gonna
can't
say
believe,
that.
man, I had that firehouse and let it go for that.
Yeah, well, back in the day, that's not that bad of a trade. I mean, looking at it now, anyway. Any new choice will always suffer a high amount until it becomes common. Yeah, that's just it's always been that way. And Tall Joe's HQ, what's up, man? Good to have you
What's up,
here.
Tall Joe?
Good to have you here. All right, so we talked a little bit about 2024. Is there anything else that you have in mind that you want to let us know about?
This time, just keep watching for toy hunts. I plan on staying out there and trying to find what I can find. One thing I wanted to figure out on YouTube, and I think I got a little bit of grasp on it, was shorts. I could not get
Hmm,
views on shorts, but I think I finally figured out with that. You just got to be like a shotgun, just put about 15 in the barrel and shoot them out there, and
yep,
they'll start getting
yep,
views. And
yep.
Marvel Legends, anybody trying to do shorts, if you find new Marvel Legends, in my experience, Marvel Legends get you views.
Put them on there. Yeah, especially if it's Spider-Man. Put Spider-Man on there. And what I do, I noticed you doing this too. I take the highlights from the toy hunt and I
Mhm.
make a short and I make a short and I make a short, anything that might generate, anything new that might generate some interest. And shorts are a tough thing. I think this, but the best thing about shorts is you build a sub base. You're not going to get
Even
paid
with
shit
that,
for them.
I mean, I put out a lot over the last probably month because I've been trying to see if I could find the niche and figure it out. But if I think out of all those, and it's a good sub, don't get me wrong, but I've probably done, I don't know how many. I think I've gotten right at maybe 80 or 90 subs off of them. So I
Okay.
haven't gotten a huge inflow. Most of mine still come from the toy hunt videos. And one
Yeah.
thing I noticed with shorts, if I like the Spider-Man I put on there has almost 7,000 views for the No Way Home wave.
Yep.
I gained 30 subs off of that one short, but watching it over the next few weeks, most of those tend for me to kind of drop off. If I gain 30 subs off a short, I'll probably end up losing, 10 of them.
It's a weird thing. I've noticed the same thing. It's a weird thing. It's like something, maybe it's bots, maybe it's something else, but it's like YouTube almost kind of overshoots it and then they bring it back down.
Hmm.
I was doing shorts a lot last year and I noticed that and I kind of pulled back from it because it's like, you know, the numbers seem very skewed with shorts. I don't know what the deal is. I know they changed it last year and maybe that's got something to do with it, but it does feel like the numbers are a little weird with those things. But again, I think it's, you get your views up a lot, that helps.
Yeah, I had one. Somebody mentioned Five Nights at Freddy's Jaeger 101 there. I had never done anything with five. And I done one with the Christmas figures, got like
Those
500
do good.
views. But
Yep.
I did one with that little Bunzo bunny and this, I think I forgot his name, Huggy Wuggy, and
Yeah.
just showed those two figures 8,000 views on
Yeah.
that
It's
thing. That
crazy.
overtook Spider Man for number one.
I stole that from Chris. I stole that from Everything's Plastic because he
Yeah,
kept doing those.
exactly.
Yep. And I'm like, oh man, I got to get that. But I never can find any. I never find any at Walmart. If I find one or a GameStop, I always film it because it's like, okay, there's 5,000 in the in the books right there. So yeah, you got to do that. Let's see. I agree that the hunt is the best part of collecting. I will agree with that. There's times where I don't want to hunt though. There's times I'm like, screw this. I'm just going to order it online. I don't want to deal with this. We talked about doing an online toy hunt the last time you were on. You told me you've done that. Have you done that since that last time?
I didn't at the time. I hadn't been on very long, but I
Mm,
think at that point I was getting maybe around 500 views a video, and that one barely broke. It still only got about 320 views on it. Going back and looking, which I went like 30 minutes on that thing, but it was fun, and I didn't realize at the time. I thought it might have been something commonplace. I was bored one night and had to have content for the next day, so I
right.
went online shopping. But I think if to do that, you're gonna have to have personality. You're gonna have to make little collecting havoc. I mean, to give John some props, he'd be very good at that.
Yeah.
His personality,
Yeah.
the little quips and stuff he would make going through there. But I mean, it was. I might try another one of these days. I don't know. It didn't do bad. Probably about 150, maybe less views than what I was getting typically at the time. But I think I did 7 or 8 websites on there and went through, and then ended up buying way too much crap. So.
So it wound up costing you more money than anything, right? Yeah. Yep. Yep. I think Target really hurts themselves canceling pre-orders because then they don't sell them, and the bargain stores get them. I mean, it works out for us collecting, but if it's bad for the lines. Yeah, I would agree. It seems like Target is the worst when it comes to canceling pre-orders. I don't even actually pre-order through them at all.
So I'd heard that before. This is the first time, which I haven't pre-ordered a lot from them to sit here and say I've got a large sample. But Wonder Woman was the first time that had happened, and someone, I don't remember who it was, so they'd ordered from Entertainment Earth the Wonder Woman figure, and theirs got canceled from them. So I wonder if it might be an issue with McFarlane not being able to meet the demand for all the pre-orders for that figure.
Well, I don't know because they do that with a lot of stuff. They've done that with Black Series. They've even done it with Transformers, which there's not a lot. There's not a ton of Transformer collectors. They've done it with Marvel. I think they overshoot. I think they overshoot the pre-orders, and then they're like, "Oh, we got to tone it back," but they don't ever seem to learn their lesson. I mean, that's what I've seen so far. So I don't know what the deal is. It's not like it's not like Amazon where the pre-orders open for 3 or 4 months and you can still get it even as the figure's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
And then too, we talked about. I mean, you pre-order something from Target and it shows a ship date, say of January 15th. Well, you go or Target now, and they're all over the place.
Oh yeah, you can get it now.
Really much point in
Or it's
pre-ordering
not even on their site. Like those Ghostbusters, they're not even on the site, and you already find them in stores. So again, I think it's really a problem with distribution, and I wouldn't think it'd be that hard to get the website to match the what's going on in the stores because all the stores, for the most part, are getting it in at the same time or close to the same time. So it just seems more like those distribution problems, I think. But I go back through after I film. Oh, okay, I mean that's a good idea. Yeah. I constantly miss stuff because I look through the phone and not the actual. I do
That
that
makes me
too.
feel good. Other
I do
people,
that
I,
too.
I thought I might have been the only one, but everybody seems to do that. So
That's tough because you're trying to move things and you got your phone here and you're like doing this, then something falls and hits you and you got to restart. It's
I'll tell you something that kills me too. Somebody will comment my videos like, "Hey, you missed this," and put a timestamp. I'm thinking, "There's no way I missed that." And then I go back and look. I was like, "Crap, I missed it."
Yeah, absolutely. Depends on the crowd. If it's busy, I look first. If it's dead, I film first. I don't know
Exactly,
about
that's
you.
that too.
I hate filming during Christmas, during the holiday time. It is a nightmare to film during that time.
That's one thing I've got more comfortable with. When I done voiceovers my first few videos because I didn't want people to know what I was doing in the toy aisle. But I've got now I really don't care. If someone's standing there and they're looking at something, I'll get down to them and say, "Okay, we'll be right back."
Yeah.
And I'll cut the camera off. But anymore, I don't care if there's 10 or 15 people on the aisle. I just do my thing and go on. I worried about that at the beginning, but one thing Kelly has said, people are so used to this stuff now, content creators and YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't think they pay much attention to it.
Yeah, I remember back when I was collecting in like 2000, I'd have my brother go do it. I'm like, I'm not going there. There's some cute girl there in the register. I'm not doing that. She's gonna think I'm a nerd or something. Like now, it's like I don't care at all. There, like you said, there's so many people. I run into people every once in a while. Do you run into? Have you run into any other YouTubers that are toy hunters?
The only other toy hunter I have seen that I know of, and like I said, this is one that I make jokes about that I get asked about a lot. And I hadn't been doing this long, but I had been to Georgia on a work trip, and I traveled through Chattanooga, and that's where Greg Cook hunts a lot down through there. And I didn't say anything to him, but I saw him. I went to a Target there. I got off the interstate to stretch my legs and film a little bit. He was walking out of the toys. I was walking in. He spoke to me. He was friendly, but he didn't know who I was, of course. I didn't say anything to him, but he's the only one that I know. But now I know some of the fans of my channel. There's two guys. They're going to start a YouTube channel, and they're kind of asking me if I can try to help them out a little bit and stuff. So I will be knowing some once they get started. But I say Greg's probably the closest one to me that I know of that puts anything out.
Yeah, well, and that's a good one to know. That's a real good one to know because Greg's been doing this a long time and he knows his stuff too. So if you're gonna run into somebody, that's a good one. Okay, John's going on about the Mutant Mayhem again. I don't know, dude. Actually, I bought those figures for my son. They're actually pretty good. They're pretty.
I've heard that everybody's bought though. They said the figures are good, and I've heard the movie's not that bad, but I kind of agree with John. I mean, it's just not. It looks too different from what I saw. The animation style, the turtles, everything. I don't. It may be a great movie. I don't know. I may watch it one of these days, but right now I can't do it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. When you're an '80s kid, like everything has to be the way it was in the '80s, right?
Exactly.
You don't want it to change. I think the figures, the way Playmates did them, they're actually really well done. It's not like cheap or anything. They're $10 and they're actually pretty good figures. But I'm with you. The designs are stupid, and I think the movie's awful. So, he's going to keep going on about that. The man collects, has a knack for detail in his hunts and shows stuff he's not always into. Very true. I think we could say that for most of us, but I will agree with Tall Joe's HQ that you are very good about doing that. Art G, what's up, buddy? Good to have you here, Art. I enjoy doing unboxing. I tried green screen and stop motion. It's fun to be creative. Chris, I don't know if you've tried stop motion, but it is a nightmare to do.
I thought about it a time or two. I don't have the patience. Lego builds is probably, and that's not stop motion. That's probably the only thing closely related to doing piece by piece movements
Yeah.
that I'm ever going to do on YouTube.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I subscribe to a lot of guys that do stop motion. I think it looks cool, but that's
It
just not
does,
something I have the patience for.
but it takes forever and it's very annoying. It's really hard to do. Really hard to do. Top fives, top tens are tough. They did okay for me, but not great. One guy was giving me a hard time in the comments because he was saying one figure came out. Oh, geez, that is
That's
so.
why I don't do, and even in our group chat, I've blurted out figures that I bought this year that I didn't. I don't know the release date. I don't keep up with
Yeah,
that. I don't
yeah,
have time to do that much research into
yeah.
this. So that's why
Did,
I won't do top 10 of 2023s. I know I'll end up doing the same thing. I'll pick something that came out, the end of the year, the previous year, and then the action figure police will come out in the comments and crucify me. So
right. Well, I think the other thing with that's kind of like the Ross ones. It's flooded. The market's flooded with the top fives, top tens. I did a bunch of them. I know T3 did a bunch. It gets flooded, and it's like you got every person on YouTube doing them. I think it just gets old, and people get to the point where it's like they don't want to really hear everybody's opinion anymore. And then when you're getting comments like that, nobody cares. So
yeah,
it's
it's not
like
much motivation to keep going.
no, absolutely not. It's just tough with that. All right. My favorite pickup for 2023 was gifted to me. That was my first hot toy of the Crow. Thank you to John Joker for that. Yep. Now let's get Dave's Dimension. What's up, buddy? 7 likes, 24 watching. If I see 7 likes on this freaking live stream when we're done, so help me God, you people. We're gonna have a conversation here because there needs to be way more likes than that. You got the man Klex on here, guys.
I'll say it's probably your guest driving that down a little bit.
No, 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 no. You know what? I never told you this. I've been doing Yakin with Yukon for a year and a half. Guess who has the most views on any live stream for Yakin with Yukon out of like 60 of these things? You do.
I do.
You do.
Oh, that's awesome.
You do. You want to know why? Because you pumped it up, unlike all these other guys who just show up on the show, get to be on the show and stuff. You pumped it up. I think you mentioned it a couple times on your videos.
Yeah, I meant to do more. I didn't have an opportunity to get it in there a lot this last time, but I've tried to do my wrap ups and stuff like that. That's one thing, all the people I've got to know, I try to give shout outs and stuff like that for the people that help me. I know we're probably getting close to an hour here, but I always say, you are the first big YouTuber to ever give me any attention when I did this. And I know to you, that show we did back in June was just another Yakin with Yukon, but I was just starting to do this. I didn't have a lot of confidence in it anyways. And seeing someone who wanted me to be on their live stream, that was a huge boost to my confidence in doing this. So if I'm successful, I attribute some of that to you and bringing me on here because you helped build this ego out a little bit to help me keep going. So I always will appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. No, I appreciate that. Well, and when I saw your stuff, I was like, man, this guy knows what he's doing, and that's why I reached out to you and I saw that. So for me to call me a big YouTuber is definitely not right. Not at all. And but man, getting to know you more, I think you're a great guy and I think you're doing a phenomenal job, man. So congratulations on all your success. It's much deserved. I love to see good people succeed. That's a big thing. And all these guys, including yourself, are good people that are succeeding. So it means a lot that you guys come onto the show in all seriousness. I'm just giving you crap about the likes and stuff, guys. But it does mean a lot when you guys take the time out to come on the show, answer my stupid questions and support this because it's not an easy gig, but man, it's a hell of a fun gig. So I really appreciate it.
One thing I think is awesome, especially about our little group of YouTubers, I feel like a lot of us have achieved a lot of milestones together like the past year. I mean,
Definitely.
I hit 1,000 subs, you got monetized, Havoc hit 1,000 subs, Carlos hit it, General Kenobi. I mean, everybody seems to be, all of our little groups seem to be hitting all these milestones and having success together. And somebody made a comment, might have been me, I don't remember who said one time, it's kind of like we all get to watch ourselves grow up together on YouTube. And I think that's a lot of fun too, watching everybody else get to grow and enjoy all this. So.
It's true, man. To see everybody hit the milestones, like you said, is really cool. And I think that is a testament to the support that everybody's given. Everybody as hard as it is, I try to watch everybody's video. I know you do the same. You've told me before. It's like, I haven't seen your video. I'm like, dude, it's cool. You don't have to. It's all good. But I think that's where it comes from, is the support is just through the roof. I don't think I've had more support other than family and friends playing sports or doing anything more than YouTube. So that really is what does it and what's the best part, man. So with that, give me some closing remarks. Let me know what you got on tap. Let me know. We kind of talked about your look on 2024, but let me know anything else that you want to tell us. Where else we can find you and your content as well.
One thing I'm thinking about doing, and I watched this last night, and it's painful to watch. My first video that I ever put on YouTube, my 1 year anniversary is in 4 days. It's on the 11th. I thought it was the 12th. I got my own date wrong, but I think I'm going to do a premiere. I'm not going to do a live stream with it, but I want to repost that video and be in the chat and watch that and do like a watch. Anybody that wants to get on, do a watch along. And if I do that, it's probably going to be on the 11th, just to go back and
Nice.
watch that now, just to kind of see, in a year, how far that I've come with it. But I thought that might be a fun idea to do and kind of make fun of myself. But that's the only different kind of content I'm probably going to do. But as far as where to find me, I'm on Instagram. You go on there and search The Man Collects. You should be able to find me on there. Trying to do more on Instagram. I did my first reel the other day. I was kind of proud of that.
Nice, man.
And then trying to get more content. I've got over 300 followers now on there, so I appreciate the support I've got on that. But also Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. YouTube, I will have a video out there, toy hunt. Hoping I can check those out. But YouTube and Instagram, you can find me there. And if I do that little premiere thing on the 11th, hopefully some people will show up to laugh at me a little bit. So
No, you'll have people. You'll have people, man. And it's a thing to go back and watch your first video and see how much you've grown. That's cool, man. I'm glad you're doing that. Let me welcome a couple more people that showed up later. I don't want to not acknowledge some people. Mr. Boom Boom 12, what's up? Good to have you here. And I think, Big Troy, what's up, Big Troy? Good to have you here, buddy. Got to get you on the shoot too, man. And let's see. Well, make sure we didn't miss anybody. Viper's Pit. Dang, you guys rolled in for this. I told you they'd come out for you, man. And they did. Most views on a Yakin with Yukon in the last 6 months, by the way. Missed the show. No, you can watch the replay. I think Legacy and Nerd, what's up, man? Guys, definitely, we got to wrap it up, but definitely watch the replay. Great show. Went by really fast because all Chris does is talk. So, there you go. So, all right, man. Well, thank you so much for being on. I think we're on Undisputed together again. I got to get with Carlos. I think that's this month. Carlos, let us know. But definitely, guys, check out Undisputed again. That's always a good time as well. And definitely go check out The Man Collects. If you haven't, give him a sub, give him a like, and watch his videos because, again, he does a great job. So thank you again, Chris. Appreciate you being on the show. Next week, Collecting Havoc, my other Rookie of the Year, will be on. So we will
1B next week.
1B will be on next week. So looking forward to talking with John again. And another guy who's just doing things the right way. February will be the next Undisputed, so check that out as well. So, all right, guys, wrapping it up. Chris, thank you again. We will see you guys next week. You guys have a good one.